Alright, listen up you lot. You've clicked on this video because you're either curious, bored, or just love watching a grumpy Yorkshireman tell you why you're wrong about everything. Good choice. Today we're dissecting anatomy of a video game, and why some of you need to stop declaring games dead like you're bloody Grim Reaper of gaming. Spoiler alert, you're not. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that bollocks. It helps the channel grow and it'll make me slightly less grumpy. Maybe. Now let's get on with it before my blood pressure spikes. Let's start with the brain of any multiplayer game, servers. Now think of these servers as game's brain. Without them, you've got nothing but a lifeless husk. Servers keep everything ticking along, making sure you can teabag some poor sod halfway across the world without a hitch. When servers go down, the game's technically brain dead. But just like in life, a game can still function without a fully operational brain, assuming there's a heart still beating, but we'll get to that in a bit. Here's the thing, some of you tossers out there love to scream, dead game, just because a game's population dips or servers have a bit of a wobble. But truth is, as long as servers are up and running, even if it's just a single lonely one out there in digital void, brain's still ticking, the game's far from dead. And don't even get me started on those who think a bit of server downtime equals death. Server isn't dead, you just have to wait a few minutes before you can get back into your favourite pastime of raging at your teammates. It's a server, not your nan. It don't need resuscitation, just a quick reboot. So calm down and have a brew. But remember, even if servers are gone and game's technically brain dead, there's still more to this autopsy. Game's heart can keep it alive, even without a brain. Now let's get into heart at matter. Players, you, me, that annoying prick who always camps in corner, we're the heartbeat of any game. Without players, even best server in world is just a fancy paperweight. So if server is brain, we the players are heart that keeps the damn thing alive. Here's a little fact for you doomsayers. As long as there is even one poor sod logging in, that game's still alive. Heart's still beating. Might be on live support, but it's not flatlining. Just because a game don't have millions of players like bloody Call of Duty doesn't mean it's dead. So to all of you who love throwing the word dead around like it's your job, pipe down. You sound like gaming version of hypochondriac. Declaring a game dead just because it doesn't have a queue to get in anymore. It's players who'll keep game alive. You could have best developers, shiniest servers, and a marketing budget that could fund a small country's military. But if players aren't there, none of that matters. No players, no heart, no game. Simple as that. And let's be honest, some of you calling games dead are same ones who jump ship minutes something new and shiny comes along. You like gaming magpies, always chasing the next bit of tinfoil, while rest of us keep heart at game beating. You can't call a game dead just because you got bored and buggered off. That's like quitting a job and then declaring the whole company bankrupt. Don't work like that, mate. So next time you're about to declare a game dead because Twitch viewership dropped or your mates stopped playing, remember this. As long as there's players, heart still beats and game lives on. And if you think otherwise, well, maybe it's problem in game, maybe it's you. Now let's talk about blood that keeps this whole operation running. Cash flow. You might think money's just something to buy skins and battle passes with, but in reality it's lifeblood of any game. Keeps lights on, servers humming, and devs fed so they can keep fighting those bugs you love to moan about. See, without cash flow, a game starts to get a bit anemic. But even if money dries up, as long as there's still players keeping heart beating, game's not dead. Just broke. And don't confuse broke with dead, because a game can limp along and player love alone, as long as servers are still up. But here's where it gets interesting. Just because a game ain't raking in big bucks anymore don't mean it's about to keel over. Look at some of classic games out there. Modders keep posts going, private servers set up by die-hard fans, and communities refusing to let go. It's like an old band still touring dive bars because they've still got fans who'll show up. Yeah, it's not Wembley Stadium, but heart's still beating, blood's still flowing, even if it's not a gushing river like it used to be. And let's be clear, cash flow ain't just about microtransactions and DLC, it's about keeping ecosystem alive. You've got in-game economies, communities supporting streamers, hell, even people buying game on sale counts. It all contributes to keeping that blood flowing, no matter how thin it gets. So to folks who think a game's dead just cause it's not printing money anymore, here's a newsflash. As long as there's still money trickling in, game's got life left in it. And even if cash flow dries up completely, so long as there's players logging in, that heart's still pumping. Might not be a full-bodied wine anymore, but it's still got a pulse. And for those of you out there saying a game's dead just cause revenue's not what it used to be, maybe take a step back and look at what's really happening. Blood's still there, even if it's just a trickle, and as long as it's flowing, game's not dead. It's just running lean. Time to talk about unsung heroes, or as I like to call them, the antibodies at gaming world. The developers. These are poor souls who spend countless hours battling bugs, fixing exploits, and trying to keep game from turning into a digital wasteland. Not ones who keep blood clean and heart beating steady, even when restaurants are too busy complaining about latest patch. Now here's the thing, developers are like your immune system. As long as they're active, game's got a fighting chance. They squash bugs, balance gameplay, and release updates to keep things fresh. But what happens when devs stop? When updates slow to a crawl or disappear altogether? Does that mean game's dead? Not quite. Even if devs stop pushing out new content, as long as servers are up and players are still logging in, art keeps beating. Sure, we aren't devs actively maintaining it, the game might catch a few colds here and there, but it's not dead. It's just vulnerable. And let's not forget, just cause a game's not getting regular updates doesn't mean it's abandoned. Sometimes devs have to move on, but they leave game in a state where it can still survive without constant attention. Think of it like your mum sending you off to uni. She's not there doing your laundry anymore, but you're still alive. Barely. Some of the best games out there aren't seen a developers touch in years, yet they're still going strong, kept alive by dedicated communities who've taken reins. Mods, fan patches, custom servers. These are new antibodies stepping in where original devs left off. So next time someone says a game's dead cause devs have moved on, remind them of this. Antibodies might have gone, but as long as players are still there, keeping heart beating, game's got life in it yet. Sure, it might catch a few more bugs, but that's just part of the aging process. It's not dead, it's just living without a safety net. And if you're one of those who've been mourning death of a game just cause devs aren't as active as they once were, maybe it's time to look in the mirror. Are you still playing? Are other players still there? If so, then congratulations, you're part of the reason art's still beating, and game's still alive. So stop acting like you're attending a funeral and start enjoying bloody game. Now let's cut crap and get to the real question. When is a game actually truly dead? And no, it's not when Twitch viewers drop or when your favourite streamer moves on to the next big thing. It's not even when servers go down or devs pack up and leave. Game's only dead when players are gone. That's it. End of story. See, as long as there's even a single player logging in, running around and keeping digital world alive, game isn't dead. It's like one of those bloody zombie flicks. Sure, it might not be pretty, might be limping along, but it's still got life in it. It's not dead until last player logs off for good and world goes silent. Until then, art's still beating, even if it's just a faint pulse. So next time you hear some numpty declaring a game dead cause it doesn't have numbers it used to, remember this, they're talking out their ass. They don't know what dead is. Dead isn't lower player counts, dead isn't a lack of updates, and dead into dropping revenue. Dev is when there's no one left playing, when servers go dark and world you loved fades away completely. That's when you can call it dead. Until then, it's just going through a midlife crisis. So for all of you out there still playing, still logging in, still keeping that heart beating, your reason game's alive. Keep it up and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And with that, smash that like button, hit subscribe and leave a comment below with your thoughts and gaming stories. I might just feature them on channel. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.